Hello, friends. I'm Garner Shimizu, State House Representative for District 32. Thank you for electing me into office in 2024. It is an honor and privilege to serve you. The experience gained in this first two-year term has strengthened me with an even greater capacity to advocate on your behalf. At the legislature, I have been serving on 3 committees. First, Water and Land. Second, Public Safety and Military. And lastly, Judiciary and Hawaiian Affairs. My colleagues will attest that I conscientiously put in much time and effort to study all of the bills. I care about voting with thoughtfulness and understanding. I love meaningful dialogue and have a perfect attendance record. In the off session, I am working diligently, addressing constituent concerns, and always learning more about the issues we face. My office is always open and welcomes you and your input. District 32 includes Fort Shafter, Moanalua Gardens, Moanalua Valley, Red Hill, Foster Village, and parts of Aleomanu, Aiea, Halava, and Pearl Ridge. I attend Neighborhood Board, Neighborhood Security Watch, and Community Association meetings held monthly. Our district includes major projects such as the Aloha Stadium redevelopment, Red Hill water supply concerns, OCCC relocation to Halava, all of which I keep abreast on. This is a full-time position which I am committed to. My background in mechanical engineering has helped me to analyze issues, identify inefficiencies, and ask important questions needed to find workable solutions. I apply that same problem-solving mindset to legislative work, particularly evaluating how bills and policies will function in practice and how they will impact our lives on a day-to-day basis. Because bills introduced in session will affect each one of us and our futures significantly, I take my job very seriously. Having attended Moanalua Elementary, middle, and high schools, I am deeply rooted in the community I represent. I raised my family here. The people I serve are not constituents, but my family, friends, and neighbors. I have served as past president of the Moanalua Valley Community Association. I'm currently on their board as a director and part of our community's Neighborhood Security Watch. After 40+ years as a business, community, and church leader, I retired in 2011 from a family construction business. During the course of my career, I have held elected positions as president of the Sheet Metal Contractors Association and a trustee for our sheet metal union. I felt divinely called out of retirement and felt a responsibility to step up and help make a meaningful change at a time when affordability, accountability, and quality of life are major concerns. I am not a career politician and have no conflicts of interest. I'm committed to putting residents first. I'm working hard year-round with no other job to give my time to. My only focus and desire is to serve the people of our community with integrity and dedication. Please visit both my legislative and campaign websites, repshimizu.com and voteshimizu.com, for more information on my qualifications and accomplishments. This is another election year. I humbly ask for your continued trust and vote for re-election. Vote Garner Shimizu for House District 32. Mahalo.
Aloha, my name is Dr. Danny Degracia. If you live in the areas of Royal Kunia, Village Park, Waipahu, Ewa Beach, or Ho'opili, I humbly ask for your vote to be your next Republican state representative for House District 39. This message is for every voter who is looking for hope, who feels left behind, forgotten, or that government isn't doing anything at all for them. I am here to help, and help is on the way. Right now, Hawaii's families are facing some of the hardest times they've ever seen in years. The cost of housing, healthcare, education, utilities, and basic necessities are skyrocketing even as our incomes barely move. People everywhere are doing their best, saving where they can, working multiple jobs, making sacrifices, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. There is an exhaustion that is setting in amongst many of us. Just a few days ago, the Hawaii Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System found that 1 out of every 10 adults reported that they spent more than 14 days of the last month feeling like their mental health and physical health was not good. The pressures and inconveniences our families face have been brutal. But I also recognize how courageously, how faithfully, how persistently you've shown up and kept fighting for your loved ones and your children. I know that if just given a chance, that if you had a voice in your state capital who understood what it feels like to be in your shoes, that you and your family could accomplish all your dreams. I know how many tears some of you cry at night, feeling like you've done everything right, and yet happiness seems to be just out of reach. I know how many prayers some of you mothers and fathers have been offering for your sons and daughters, hoping that when they graduate, there will be jobs and a future for them. Hope is not lost. Hawaii and the United States of America are the greatest places on earth, and when we elect the right leadership, we can create a future better and brighter than anything we've seen yet. Elect me as your next state representative, and I will make sure that you are heard and seen, and that your communities are no longer neglected. I will work to lower the cost of living, get new schools built in your communities, address how bad traffic has become, and most of all, I will fight with all of my heart and strength to be worthy of your trust and confidence. The honorable, hardworking, and God-fearing people of Hawaii have overcome so many challenges and heartaches to get to where they are now. They deserve serious leadership that is every bit as tough and competent as they are. And they need someone who can stand on a wall and say, "Nothing's going to touch you tonight, not on my watch." I pledge to you, on my sacred honor, that no matter what you or your family are facing, Dr. Danny Degracia will be there for you. I want a future where government works for you, not against you, and where you don't need to spend so much time planning how you'll make it through life in Hawaii. I want a future where things just work and where you can be free from fear and stress and worry. So if my words have reached your family, please vote for me for House District 39. No matter what, don't ever stop dreaming. God is with you, mighty men and women of Hawaii. My favorite Republican president once said, "We Americans have faith in ourselves, but not in ourselves alone. We do not claim to know all the ways of providence, yet we can trust in them, placing our confidence in the loving God behind all of life and all of history. May He guide us now, and may God continue to bless the United States of America." I'm Dr. Danny Degracia, and I want you to vote for me in your Republican primary. Mahalo.
Aloha, my name is Loren Keola Doctolero, and I'm running to represent House District 39, serving the neighborhoods of Waipahu, Village Park, Royal Kunia, Westlock, Honouliuli, and the growing Ho'opili. This community raised me. Family members, friends, teachers, coaches, mentors, and neighbors invested in me and helped shape the person I am today. And along the way, they taught me something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. We all have different stories, but we share a future. And that belief continues to guide the work I do today. Whether coaching track and field or working with organizations like Bishop Museum and Special Olympics Hawaii, I've been fortunate to spend my career serving the same communities that invested in me. Throughout this campaign, I've had the privilege of reconnecting with people from all across our district. Everyone has their own story, their own challenges, their own hopes, and it's easy to focus on the things that divide us. But when the conversation turns to our families, our neighborhoods, and the kind of Hawaii we want to leave the next generation, we have far more in common than we sometimes realize. And that's why I'm running. Progress doesn't happen when one person has all the answers. It happens when people are willing to work together towards the same goal. And that's why I believe public service begins with listening, but succeeds through partnerships. And when you spend that much time listening, certain priorities rise to the surface, like creating more opportunities through stronger schools, workforce pathways, and good-paying careers that allow local families to build a future here in Hawaii. And building safer neighborhoods by supporting our schools, strengthening public safety, and helping people feel connected to where they live. And planning for West Oʻahu's future by investing in the roads, schools, and infrastructure our growing community deserves. I believe Hawaii should be a place where working families can thrive, where our kupuna can age with dignity, and where every young person can choose to build a future here. Because while all our stories may be different, our future is shared. I'm Loren Keola Doctolero. I'd be honored to earn your trust, your support, and your vote. Mahalo.
Aloha, my name is Wayne Kaiwi, Hawaii Republican candidate for Hawaii State House District 39. People often ask me why I chose to run for office. My answer is simple, because this is a calling and this is home. My wife and I are proud homeowners in Ho'opili, a growing diverse community right in District 39. Our children attend Eva Elementary School, where overcrowded classrooms and unacceptable teacher-to-student ratios are real challenges. And like many families, we want every child to receive the attention and education they deserve. If elected, improving education will be one of my top priorities. Like many of you, we sit in the same traffic every morning and every evening. We shop at the same grocery stores, pay the same high utility bills, face the same housing costs, and worry about public safety and wonder what kind of future our children will inherit. And like many of you, we've watched family members and lifelong friends make one of the hardest decisions of their lives, to leave Hawaii because they simply can no longer afford to stay. That shouldn't be happening. Since 1959, one political party has held the overwhelming majority of power in Hawaii. That isn't about placing blame. It's simply a fact. Whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, independent, or someone who doesn't pay much attention to politics at all, I believe we should all be willing to ask one honest question. Is Hawaii where it should be today? For me, the answer is clear. A'ole, no. This isn't about pointing fingers. It's about acknowledging reality. It's the results aren't good enough for our families. Then we need the courage to admit that change is needed, and the courage to lead differently. I'm not running because I think I have all the answers. I'm running because I believe leadership begins with listening. It means asking better questions, bringing the right people to the table, challenging systems that no longer work, and having the humility to recognize that good ideas can come from anyone. Real change doesn't come from louder politics. It comes from bringing together our educators, labor leaders, businesses, Native Hawaiian leaders, first responders, community organizations, and everyday residents like you and me to build practical, measurable solutions that actually improve people's lives. No one person has all the answers, but together, I believe Hawaii does. The job of a legislature isn't just to introduce bills or cast votes. It's to listen, find common ground where possible, build consensus, and deliver real solutions that improve the lives of people we serve. Government should work for the people, not the other way around. I also believe good ideas don't belong to one political party. If a Republican has a good idea, I'll support it. If a Democrat has a good idea, I'll support that too. If anyone, including a resident of District 39, brings forward a practical solution that improves the lives of people, I'll stand with them and fight for it. My loyalty isn't to politics. My loyalty is to the people of District 39 and the people of Hawaii. As a proud Kanaka O'iwi, I carry with me the values of kuleana, malama, and aloha. They are principles that guide how I live, how I serve, and how I hope to lead. If elected, I want the people of District 39 to judge me differently than they've judged elected officials in the past. Don't judge me by my speeches or by my political power. Judge me by what I accomplish. Every year, I'll report back to you on the legislation I introduce, what became law, what didn't, who supported it, what challenges we face, and what I'll continue fighting for. This is not to say national issues are unimportant. They are. But if I'm elected to represent District 39, then my first responsibility is to fight for the people of District 39 and for the issues that matter most to Hawaii. This campaign has never been about me. It has always been about us, about protecting the Hawaii we love while creating a future where our children and our grandchildren can choose to build their lives here instead of feeling forced to leave. I truly believe our best days are still ahead of us. With faith, humility, and aloha, I humbly ask for the opportunity to earn your trust, your support, and your vote. My name is Wayne Kaiwi, Hawaii Republican candidate for Hawaii State House District 39, called to action, ready to serve. Mahalo.
Aloha. I'm Rosenlee, and I'm running for House District 39. House District 39 includes Kunia, parts of Waikele, parts of Waipahu, Westlock, and Ho'opili. A little about myself. I was born and raised here in Hawaii. My mom, she was a special education teacher at Princess Kaiolani Elementary, and my dad, he started an organization called Adult Friends for Youth that works with troubled youth. From very early on in my life, I learned how important it is to give back to our community. As many other people spend Thanksgiving sitting around the dining room table eating their turkey, my family would give up Thanksgiving to try to set up a fundraiser to make sure that we had enough funding for Adult Friends for Youth for the year. As for myself, I really wanted to give back to our community. Ever since I was in 3rd grade, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. And I've been a teacher now for 30 years, the last 20 of them at Campbell High School. I remember the first day I walked into Campbell High School, and I was greeted by this wall of heat. And I said, how can we do this to our kids? I saw my students by the end of the day passing out because of how hot it was. And I knew that something had to be done. So I organized teachers and students and parents, and we marched down to the state capitol to demand air conditioning for our students. And I'll be honest, we didn't get it the first year. In fact, it took years. But I didn't give up the fight, and that's why I think it's so important that when you're working to get things done, you keep on fighting. And because of our effort, thousands of classrooms across the state now have air conditioning, and hundreds of thousands of kids have had a conducive learning environment. But I've always had this activist streak trying to get things done. I remember when Governor Lingle imposed furlough Fridays on our classrooms, and our students didn't go to school every Friday. I knew that they were not being able to get a good education. So I, with other parents, did a sit-in in Governor Lingle's office. And because of our efforts, we ended furlough Fridays. When Governor Abercrombie imposed contracts on teachers, I worked with other teachers to fight back. And because of this, we were able to get a good contract for our teachers. A lot of that activism, a lot of teachers came to me and said, Corey, you should run to be the president of the Teachers Union. And I did. And I was elected twice to be the president of the Hawaii State Teachers Association. And as HSTA president, I fought to make sure that all of our keiki across the state have a quality education. Right now, we have a shortage of about 1,000 teachers in the state. And I did my research and I found out that that shortage was primarily in 3 areas: in special education, in hard to staff areas, and for Hawaiian immersion. And we began a program to pay those teachers more, and it worked. Surprise, surprise, when you pay teachers better, they stay in teaching. What we did became a national model. And across the entire United States now, teachers that work in hard to staff areas are paid better. But I also still wanted to focus on our keiki. One of the things I fought for, and I still want to fight for, is to make sure that all of our keiki have free meals. After I was termed out, I still felt like there was so much that needed to be done. So I ran for and was elected to the Ewa Neighborhood Board. On the Ewa Neighborhood Board, I've done things to try to fight things to make our community better. One of those things I've seen is illegal e-bikes. In my community, I see kids, young kids, riding on these bikes without helmets, doing wheelies. And I saw by Campbell High School that kids got injured. So I worked with the police on the Ewa Neighborhood Board to do more enforcement. And because of that, we've cut down on some of the illegal e-bike use. I've often fought for things such as illegal fireworks and to make sure that we have buffer zones around our areas when the firefighters are cutting back the trees to make sure that we don't have a fire like we did in Lahaina. But I'm running because I still feel there's a lot of things that the legislature can do, big things to try to help our communities. Things like affordability, like how expensive it is for housing, or how difficult it is to do food costs in Hawaii, childcare, utilities. And these are the things that I want to do if elected. I'm someone that has a history of getting big things done. I'm a history of fighting for our community and working for you. And that's why I'm asking for your vote. So please vote for Rosenlee for House District 39. Thank you.